I'm Andy McMullen and I'm doing parts of a shotgun. I'm from Wapello County. I recently took a hunter safety course, so I decided I would do this presentation so that people would be able to know the parts of a shotgun, and for people that are starting to learn how to hunt or are about ready to take the hunter safety course. The first part of the shotgun I would like to talk to you about is the stock. It is placed on the back of the gun and is placed against your shoulder to help get control of the gun. On your shoulder, if you feel right here, there's a bone, and right here there's a bone, but right in the middle, there's no bone. And that's where you should place the shotgun, so that way when you shoot it, it goes in there and it doesn't hurt your bone or shoulder. The forearm. It is on the bottom of the barrel and used as a grip. So when you grip it, you'll want to grab right underneath here. And if you're, depending on if you're right-handed, you'll use your left hand to grab it. If you're left-handed, you'll use your right hand to grip it. The next part is the sight. It's usually a bead and is on the end of the top of the barrel. And when you hold the shotgun, you should be able to hold it up and put your cheek down right next to the stock and see that little bead at the top. If you're right-handed, you'll use your right eye. If you're left-handed, you'll use your left eye. The trigger. Underneath the barrel and is in front of the stock is used to fire the gun. This right here is this trigger. You when you pull the trigger or use the trigger is like it's the comma right here, and when you shoot it, you should be able to just use a squeeze, like squeeze, force squeeze, like. The next part is the safety. Is either either on the top of the stock or towards the front or in front of the trigger. It keeps from accidental firing. Depending on if you're right-handed or left-handed, usually if you're right-handed or left-handed, if you're right-handed, you'll have a safety like this. If you have a pump or a semi-automatic gun, and if you're left-handed, then you might have one like this, or you might just have to use the right-handed, depending on what kind of gun you have. The next part is the barrel, is where the shells go through and where ammunition is launched. The barrel right here, there's different lengths depending on how long you're planning on shooting, what the distance is you're planning on shooting. A 28-inch barrel will go longer than a 26 or a 20 or a 17. Next is the action, is where you load your shells and also where the empty shells come out if you have an automatic or pump gun, located on either the right hand or left-handed side of the gun. The action, if you have a semi-automatic or pump, will be right here or on the left-handed side. But if you have an over and under or a side-by-side, over and under, what I mean is where the barrels are like that, or if it's side by side, the barrels will just be twisted like this. And that when you open up, the action is those two slots where you put the shell in. Next is the shells. Is a little cartridge where ammunition is stored until you pull the trigger. Depending on what gauge shotgun you have, this is a 410, a 28, 16, 12, 10, 8, and 4. Depending on what gauge of shotgun you have, the bigger the shell you have. In conclusion, I talked about the parts of a shotgun: the stock, the forearm, the trigger, the barrels, the sight, the safety, and the stock and how you should hold it. Any questions? Well, when the question was what eye you should use when you shoot, it depends what eye is stronger than the other one. If your right eye is stronger than your left eye, if you can see out better, then you should use that eye. Or if your left eye is better, you should use that eye.
Do you use any other guns other than shotguns, like rifles or pistols or anything like that?
The question is, do I use any other guns than shotguns, like rifles or pistols? I do have a rifle.
How does that compare? Is there any comparison?
The difference, she asked if there's any comparison between a shotgun and a rifle. The shotgun it's the difference between what ammunition you use. On a shotgun, there's little pellets, little round BBs they're silver. That goes through a shotgun. And a rifle, it has a slug. It's got a slug on it. The question is, what one is harder to shoot? What do you mean by harder to shoot? You talking about a shotgun or rifle? Well, depends on what caliber or gauge of shotgun you have. Any other questions? Okay, that concludes my presentation.